Government continues to receive a resounding praise from residents in East and West Rheinfeldt for allowing them to actively participate in the infrastructural development of their communities. Several major projects are underway in various parts of the communities after contracts totaling $127 million were inked on March 8. The youngest among the contractors is Roynell Berkeley.
I'm so glad that I get the opportunity to do and put out good work in my community where I born and grow. And also, as you can see, the roads, very perfect. This is the best government I can say. The road, very perfect. I can't recall since when I growing up, when last I recall the road being done in East Rheinfeldt.
I'm really happy, I'm really excited, seeing all the development, going on, and I was wondering how could I be a part, not knowing the government already had plans in place to, issue contracts to first-time persons like myself. Persons like myself, might be a first-time contractor themselves, but they don't have that knowledge, so they're going to want to learn from my experience, and I think paying it forward is a great feeling for me.
This contract has been awarded to people in the community, and I feel that the government is doing a major work, and I 100% support that.
Women are also taking center stage in spearheading transformative projects.
I'm so proud to know that even though I wasn't recognized, that the government can still recognize me to give me a chance and to do something for myself and also my family.
Women are no longer limited. This is a great big thing. Young people, lots of young people now is involved. We're given that opportunity to showcase our skills and also the opportunity to hire people within our area. I have approximately 5 or 6 men that will be working with me from my area. I'll definitely take pride in doing this because I am happy that my area would be developing and beautifying too.
I'm elated, I feel good about it, and it gives me a little boost, in that you could do, young people are being looked into and pushed forward.
Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar, and Minister within the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for public affairs, Kwame McCoy, visited the area earlier this week. Both ministers conducted a thorough inspection of the ongoing projects and interacted with residents to find out ways in which the government could do more to better their lives. The Ministry of Education on Wednesday launched its primary education textbook series, Mathematics Made Easy and Guyanese in the World. The 4-series social studies book, Guyanese in the World, presents a systematic, coherent, and progressive learning journey, from exploring the dynamics of the family and school life to understanding the connection of communities and nations. The 3-series math book, Mathematics Made Easy, provides a comprehensive and contextual approach to learning math.
While the books consider global needs and trends, the content of each book is relevant and links to our local context, enhancing its effectiveness in the classroom.
Importantly, Minister Manik Chand is hoping to see improved academic performances from the innumerous investments made in the education sector.
If we're going to give every child textbooks, if we're going to build schools for every child to sit in, if we're going to make sure every child has breakfast at certain levels, if we're going to make sure we invest in training and retraining our teachers, we have to start seeing better results.
The Guyana School of Agriculture received a first-of-its-kind greenhouse, which houses hydroponics and aquaculture facilities. The greenhouse will help to impart knowledge of climate-resilient agriculture production as a sustainable safeguard for food security. This regional initiative is made possible by a slew of agencies, including the United Nations Development Programme and the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture.
In line with our climate finance commitment for climate-smart agriculture and food systems, Canada continues to deliver programming that focuses on smallholder farmers, especially women and youth, to help improve their economic resilience and their livelihoods, and through sustainable practices while facilitating access to resources.
The project fully conforms to the national priorities, as stated in the Reformed Low Carbon Development Strategy 2030, the Paris Agreement, and the UN's Framework Convention on Climate Change. Almost 5,000 plantlets will be grown simultaneously with fish rearing.
When we talk about precision agriculture, this is the way to go. To start it so that we can implement it. We have seen a number of this project across the country already. Over the last 3 years, we have built over 450 shade houses across the country. We have seen a number of projects which we have implemented that encompass young people and women.
The construction of the facility was undertaken by students of the GSA with assistance from ICA, UNDP, and the Office of Climate Change.
Pleasant good afternoon to those who are tuning in on this segment of the wrap. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you on being a part of this discussion this afternoon. I know my timings is a little up and down with persons, but it's like I said on the post that I made recently, it's based on my timings and my availability. But however, I will be here whether 6 in the morning or 6 in the evening. So I'm here this afternoon, and we can wrap. So for those who are tuning in, thank you so much. And please share the live as you tune in. Share the live, bring somebody in and let us have a discussion. I also want to let you know that the lines are open this afternoon for any input or discussion that you feel interested in, because we have some topics I want to discuss on this afternoon that is out there in the public's domain. And some of the things we cannot left unseen and unheard of. So we have to address it as it comes to us. I want to say for those persons who are getting home right now and you're looking at the program, please take your time, keep your eyes on the road until you get there. The program will always be there or always be here for you to review and have your bits and pieces put together. So once again, let us go into discussions. I know some persons are anticipating in some discussions that we have or we had recently, but like I say to persons, if you don't feel comfortable speaking on the program here, you can always reach out to me directly on my WhatsApp contact. That's the number below on the screen. And whatever you want to share, if you want to put something out there and you want to remain anonymous, that's no problem, because I know some persons might not want to expose their identity based on the information that is being shared with me. So I respect that, and I promise as much as possible to be confidential in the information that is being shared with me. So, guys, this afternoon, I have some topics that I want to discuss on, and two main topics that I want to discuss on, and both of the topics are considered to be, some persons say gross, some persons says unacceptable, and you know, when I listen to these persons and how they speak and how they address certain issues, I'm very much concerned for society in the next 20 years, and that is for our future generation. Because when the persons who we expected to be the ones that we looked up to and our children are looking up to, you know, and they fall apart or they fall short, and the things that they're doing and saying out there intentionally, it leads us to wonder what will happen to our future generation, right? So I have two short videos here. And first, I will be addressing a trending issue. I came across a video that was shared on social media. For the matter of fact, it was sent to me, but I saw it on social media. I saw it on Facebook before it was sent to me. And, it's very disgusting to see how people are using religion today, and more so Christianity. They are using it to what to say. I don't want to be too harsh, but the reality is, I believe that persons are going too far with this Christianity religion, where they're taking advantage on persons who might not be competent enough, to understand what is happening, or what is right and what is wrong. So, I'm lost for words here, because I'm trying to be very careful what I'm saying here, because I know some persons might say, who are me to judge? And that is so true. Who are you and I to judge? We should not judge. Leave all judgment unto the Creator, right? For me personally, I have no issues against any particular religion. I respect every religion, right? Everybody have the right to choose what religion you want to be in, where you choose to serve. That is your rights, because it's your choice, freedom of choice, constitutionally. And I don't ridicule, I don't disregard or disrespect any religion, but I will call out the issue or the issues as it comes before me. And especially if it's a religion that I've grown in, for example, in this case, Christianity. Good afternoon to my brother Feroz Wahid and all those who are tuning in. Good afternoon, Feroz. Share the live as you're on here, in your groups, WhatsApp groups, whatever groups you're a part, share it and invite somebody. Let us have a discussion. So the first thing I want to address here this afternoon, I'm going to run a video here. It's kind of lengthy. I don't want to draw out my time on it, all right? But I think you need to have a proper listen of this video, and you will understand what is actually happening here. So let me share this with you, and then I would like to have your opinion or opinions on it. And I will ask you as well, if you want to call in to share your views on it, then you can do so as well. So join me as I run this, as I share this video, for a matter of fact, and let me hear what is your opinion on it.
Auntie, I ain't allowed to turn your underwear around, say you don't wear it no more. Come to Jesus. When I hear you, come to Jesus. Tonight, I want to give that woman a chance. Because you know what? When I moved from this place, you were glad for me to come back here. Wherever you are, there is a man also here. Well, you got a knock? There's a knock? You understand you get knocking all the way? Your finance are down, business are down, your relationship is going. And that are nothing. Alter your head there. Ready for your hair. So understand this here. Carefully, I'm ready for you. The two persons I want to come to this altar now. So don't make me start count. Because you know me, a man not take long. Can you stand all over this place? The Lord has sent me here to break the curses from you. The Lord has sent me here to break the curses from you. Yeah, remove it. Tomorrow night we gotta get a vegan, right? Somebody remember to bring a vegan tomorrow night. These fellows, you got vegan? Where is it? Bring it for me quickly. And chop one bite in the lip. Can't make that up. Bring a vegan for me quickly. I'm calling on that man to make the first step and walk out. Remember, I finished preaching. It is a curse. It is a curse. It is a curse. Don't be ashamed. Don't. For the Lord is good. I'm waiting on that individual. Hey, what happened? I have 3 persons here tonight. I'm going to deal with you just now. I have 3 persons here. You get some things and you bury it in your place. Because things is hampering you. And someone tell you, bury it in your place. And you're going to be free. You know what you bury in your place? Destruction. Don't make me get count. I can't speak this in your ears. God wants me to reveal it. Don't come reach me at the house where I am. Walk out now and you're going to be free. You know what you bury in your place? You bury a spirit in your place. What will soon start to take life. The stuff that you get from the individual is the sacrifice that they do with foul. So the things that you buried in your place is going to start to move on in your life. No? You're not coming? This is the anointing that moves in here now. And now it's time to be free. I'm going to start a count. And if in a region 7, stay right where you are and don't come no more. And when destruction started to move in your life, no pastor or no prophet is going to be able to help you. For the Lord is here and His Spirit is here. So I'm going to start a count. 3 persons in here. 3 persons in here. 1, 2, 3. 4. This is one man not going to make play. And this time, as the Lord appear and operate, is a serious time. It's a serious time. It's a serious time. And now there's people from me quickly. You, 2 of you come here. One side from the tree. Allow me to make these calls. God want to clean up some things. Give him a big hand again. Please get it in hand, reach me. Somebody hold this. Let them butterfly come here. Kill them out for me. Tonight as we are gonna, leaders, get ready. Get ready. Let me talk to you for a moment. It is something very dangerous. Y'all look at me. Lift up your head and look at me. Look at me. It is something very dangerous. So what you're going to have to do, God is going to remove this thing. You're going to have...
All right, guys. I don't want to prolong too much in that. I guess the video is a little lengthy, and I guess some of you would already gotten the message. Now, I would really love to hear what's your take on that. All right, I would really love to hear from the people. What is your take on that? For me personally, like I said, none of us is within the position to judge. All right, but for me, when you look at it, and from the inception, from the starting of that video, right, when a pastor can relate to the females in the congregation, speaking specifically about their underwear and how they wear it and these things, it's like I mean, sometimes I've seen these things on social media when we see it in like in the African countries. We see a lot of videos like this, but sometimes I want to feel it's a makeup thing. But then when I actually saw it here in Guyana, performed by a pastor, in my home country, I'm seeing this. I wanted to know if Christianity had elevated to another level where you get personal into one's personal life. So I think I'm having a call here. Let me just take this call. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, my name is Feroz.
Yes, sir.
I'm calling concerning a video that you put up there with the pastor. You know that we need to get proper people who could look after these things. Like you can't get people going into the villages and taking advantage of these people. That is not right. That's totally wrong. So I see that's my opinion, right? I'm not saying I'm right, but that's my opinion. He goes in the village and he say what he want to say, do what he want to do. That's not right.
Yes. Well, you see what happens on a wider scale in this manner. There are rules and regulations in this country that governs under the Amerindian Act. Based on what I observed here, you and I observed here, I'm not too sure, but for a matter of fact, right? I saw it looks as though it was in an Amerindian village, and I guess that the normal procedure is that persons entering the village, they must seek the approval from the Tushao and the village council of that village, right? That's the process. Now here what's the whole thing. Probably he went through that process. You and I might not know, right? But then again, I don't think persons were expecting, right, to hear something like this, or I don't know. It seems as though he's a regular to that village as well, because I saw other videos where he was doing baptisms and so on in the said village. So it seems as though he have a relationship with these persons, and I believe the
choice of words.
Yes.
Choice of words at the beginning. That's totally wrong, man.
But when you listen to his choice of words, right? When you listen to his choice of word, things like that only happen when people are in their comfort zone, when they become comfortable. And it seems as though the people have entrusted him that he feels as though he has the authority to speak to them like that or speak over them. And that is what I observed there. I believe he was given that privilege. But then, we would normally see things like these happen in these Amerindian villages.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
Yeah. And there's a saying, you heard people say it before, I heard people said it before, that Amerindian people are being taken advantage of. They call them all kind of names. But let me tell you something. Yeah. Personally, I've worked with Amerindian people on a regular basis around this country, and the thing of it is not that they cannot speak for themselves. There are some who are outspoken, but I can tell you there are persons, or the Amerindian people they remain in that manner of being calm and humble, and they would not they would not respond to everything, or sometimes they don't respond at all, but in the quiet moments they know how to deal with it. Okay. Yeah. I have another I have another part of another video of the same individual I will play just now, right? I don't know if you saw the other video that he put up on Facebook after apparently he's being bashed about it. Did you see that video?
No, I did not.
Well, in a few minutes, I would run the other part of the video so persons can see it as well.
Okay, sir. Keep up the good work, and thank you again.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for calling. All right. So, like I said, when you look at him, and he was on that stage and he was preaching and the way he was talking to the people, I wanted to know. And let me tell you something. I'm seeing this here. Not only that's not the first time I've seen this. I've seen on many occasions, and most of the time in these villages, where some of these what to say, I don't want persons to get me wrong here as if I'm bashing on Christians or I'm bashing on pastors, because we know people becomes touchy now on social media. Everything becomes personal. But we are dealing with a particular issue here. Now, I've seen it in villages where we have some pastors going to these villages, and we've seen situations like this. We've seen worse. You understand? I have evidence of where persons sent message to me as well, where pastors went into villages and even took advantage of the young Armenian girls and these things. I'm telling you this. I have evidence of that, right? But I would not go here to bash, because not everybody are the same. But I'm telling you what happened in these villages, right? I'm telling you what I've seen on a regular basis in these villages, right? So, listening to him throughout that little short video, you can assess, you can make your own judgment, that, your own observation. Don't let me use the word judgment. You can have your own observation and understand the level of hypocrisy that's being portrayed here, right? Now, added to that, this individual, this so-called man of God, this preacher, after he's been bashed on social media about what transpired there and of his teaching or preaching or whatever you call it, he went on social media. He went back on Facebook during the course of the day to literally attack persons who highlighted the nonsense that he was going on with there, right? So let me run that video with you as well. If persons did not see it, I want persons to have the opportunity to see this now.
Remember, I tell you, if anybody walk me way, you get one Elisha treatment. Understand what I tell you? So if you don't like me post, I don't like me preaching, come off my profile, I beg you. Because of you and your seeds and your business and everybody are going down the drain. Understand what I tell you? Hey, you and your seeds, which means you and your household. Don't stop the work of God. So if you don't want nothing to do with me, stay out of my profile, because I got text some back to you where you go face. You understand? And everybody who watching at me.
Now, can you imagine that's a pastor, right? That's a pastor who cannot even deal with constructive criticisms, right? That's a pastor who, after being called out for his level of, to address it, I can't even find words at this point to address this so-called pastor. After you've been called out, right? After you've been called out for what you have done in that Armenian village, you understand, and what you did to that people there, you further went on social media to literally threaten, right? If you listen to that, are threats, right? And then he's saying he's going to text it to you as well. So this man technically wants to cast a curse on persons who speak out of his level of hypocrisy, using the religion, using the name of God, using the Bible, using the name of the church And he's now talking about what seeds or your seeds. I don't know. I hope he wouldn't pray on my seeds. I don't know what seeds he's talking about, because Pastor, I really hope you're not speaking specifically of my seeds, right? But when you listen to him, when you listen and his tone of voice, his appearance in that video, you can understand the kind of person that you're dealing with there, right? You don't have to further go into depth to investigate or to find out who he is, right? And people like this or people like these should not at no time be allowed. And I want to caution my indigenous brothers and sisters, my Armenian brothers and sisters, of that same particular individual. Do not allow him in your village. Do not. All right? You should not be allowed nowhere around in your villages anymore. Right? And like Feroz is saying, somebody needs to educate him dealing with the public. Because if you are a pastor and persons call you out, and that is your tone of voice, and that is the threat that you spew out there to persons who called you out for your hypocrisy, then what can you preach? Take, for example, and sometimes, I want to believe that not only in Guyana, but around the world, we are seeing religious war. And I hate to say this. I will say this, and some persons might feel offended in this, and I'm talking about the Christians. And don't get me wrong, I'm from a Christian community. But I will speak it as I see it. The religious war that we're seeing today are mostly the attacks, most times are coming from persons who portray themselves as Christians. So I wouldn't say Christians, but persons who portray themselves as Christians, as bishops. Why I say this, a few weeks ago, we had another Christian who called himself a bishop on social media. In a video, he was burning religious items that belongs to the Hindus community. You understand? That is what that individual was doing. And after he was also called out by many persons on social media, including myself, about this, he went further to that and still continues spewing like this same individual, this same so-called pastor. He went and continuously attacking those persons, literally attacking those persons who address what he did, consider it to be an attack on religion and also racist. And after he was contacted and approached by the ERC, then he decided to come on social media with his washy-washy, people call it washy-washy apology, apologizing to the Hindus. But I know deep down within his heart, he did not mean that. He only did that because after the ERC approached him, and he could have been charged as well. And then apart from that, he had another so-called bishop who came out to support him and said that he should not apologize. And he went further to talk about the government and the government this and the... Now, how in the world this government or any government of the day had to do with that? That's the problem we have in this country. From the time you approach someone and you address the wrong things that they're doing, they jump out at the government. Why the government? The government wasn't there when Mr. Man was burning the religious items. You understand? And you know what? I wish Christianity or the Christians here in Guyana could take their religion as serious as the Hindus, as serious as the Muslims, and all other religions. Because I could tell you personally, I've grown up in a church. I've grown up in a church. And what I know Christian was then to today is a total different thing. The churches today that we're seeing, especially in my community, I'm going to speak of. I can't speak for the other communities. But the churches in the community where I live today, it's all about a business. You understand? Churches are a business now. Imagine people are fighting for positions in church. People are fighting to control finances in church. You understand? Churches are getting involved in ungodly events. I'm going to speak specifically of an upcoming event in Linden here, which is a Linden Tongue Week. Imagine for the Linden Tongue Week, you have a church service that will be opening the event. Well, let me tell you personally, I don't support the Linden Tongue Week no longer because it's all about lawlessness that is being promoted in Linden. It's all about depriving people as well. And I'm going to tell you how in a few minutes. You check the Linden Tongue Week. It's all about drinking, partying, and all the lawlessness you can think about. And you have a big church service that is literally blessing an event of such. You understand? And I have a right to speak on it. I am concerned, and I have a right to speak on it because I've grown up in the Christian religion. And that is not how I know Christianity should be. I read the Bible. I understand what is right from wrong. And I'm not here to judge, and I'm not here to ridicule anybody, but I speak on it. The churches in my community is all about the show off. Who can dress more than who? Who have the most fanciest car? Who pays the highest tithes and offering? And these are the things you're hearing in church today. What about the ideology of Christianity and what it's supposed to be? Where are the Christians that were back in the days when a family is down and out? They would reach to that home and help that person or help their family. Where are the Christians that will go at the hospital and pray with people who are sick? Where are the Christians who will do charity? You know, think about it. It's all about sowing a seed every Sunday. That's what it's about. That is what it's about. So when you see people like this Mr. Man, this so-called pastor, out there, it is not surprising. You understand? It is not surprising to see people like him and the level of hypocrisy that is being portrayed by him, and the bishop that burned the Hindu religion's items. Now he have the audacity to come back after being called out on social media today, to come back to threaten persons, to tell them what will happen to their families and all these things. I think pastors have some form of license to perform or something, I'm not sure. But if it's such, people like him should be called in and that should be withdrawn if such is the case. You understand? Listen to his tone of voice. I want to run that video again. For those who are now tuning in, I want to run that video again. I'm speaking specifically of the pastors who said this, right? For those who are tuning in. I can't run the whole video, right? But let me run the first part.
Auntie, I never turn your underwear around, say you don't wear it no more.
You know, what kind of pastor telling people or telling ladies about their underwear and how they wear it. All right? I will post that video on social media so persons can have the entire video. And if you need it, you can reach out to me. I can send it to you on WhatsApp or Messenger. And then after he is being called out.
Remember, I tell you, if anybody walk me way, you get one Elisha treatment. Understand what I tell you? So if you don't like me post, I don't like me preaching, come off my profile, I beg you. Because of you and your seeds and your business and everybody are going down the drain. Understand what I tell you? You and your seeds, which means you and your household. Don't stop the work of God. So if you don't want nothing to do with me, stay out of my profile because I got text some back to you where you go face. You understand? And everybody who watching at me.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine that's the conduct of a so-called pastor? The man gonna text it to y'all. So all who got seeds, hold your seeds. Call me pastor friend praying for y'all seeds. You understand? But on a serious note, this is the level of hypocrisy that's being portrayed. Now I want to go back to what I mentioned. Somebody said this guy's not a pastor, he's an Obia man. Now I want to go back on something I mentioned earlier on the Linden Tongue Week, and I was asked to address this by the business communities. And I'm going to say it again here publicly. I don't support the Linden Tongue Week. The Linden Tongue Week has deviated from the intended purpose from the inception. Linden Tongue Week was founded by Mr. Nerville, I think it's Nerville Fredco. Nerville is the right name, but Mr. Fredco. For persons who might not know Mr. Fredco, I think he's a counselor. But he's from Linden here. That's the man who started the Linden Tongue Week. The purpose of the Linden Tongue Week was to highlight and promote the skills and businesses of Linden people. Linden, that is why it's called Linden Tongue Week. You had 3 days of events, right? The first day, the opening, you had a day of sports, where we used to go by the bandstand and we used to swim across the river, we used to ride, and we had various events. The second day, it was a 3 days, 3 nights event. The second day, we had the Linden Tongue Week pageant, the Linden Tongue Week pageant, the Linden Tongue Day pageant there, not Tongue Week. We had the pageant that used to be held on the Wisma Shore at Poker Street. And then on the Sunday, it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And on Sunday, we had an open event where persons have their bar with the little foods and these stuff and so on. It escalated to Linden Tongue Week, where they decided that, look, we have to promote more things in Linden, businesses, where persons going to have various days, they're going to promote whatever they have. And that is where the lawlessness started. Because when you start seeing, you got all white party, all black party, all this color party, big woman no for wine party, big man doing something party. And the ideology of the Linden Tongue Week have slowly and surely vanished. And Linden Tongue Week has become a lawless event. I don't care what nobody said. I speak my mind on that. You understand? Linden Tongue Week deprived the business people. Because why? Most of the businesses, most of the stalls, most of the people that come up on that day to sell, on that entire week of event to sell, are out of Linden. You understand? People that are on that event and fully involved and have major spots and main spots are people out of Linden. The Linden people do not benefit from the Linden Tongue Week. Some people travel from abroad to come to Linden with barrels to sell clothes and boots and all kind of stuff. And we have people right in the Mackenzie market, and they can't even get a spot outside to come and sell. The same clothes and the boots and everything and the food they're bringing to Linden, we Linden people got it here. You understand? The Linden Tongue Week has been sold out by the Mayor and Town Council. So when people wants to point finger, because only this morning I heard somebody talking about, oh, the government knows about the Linden Tongue Week and it's them do it. Let me tell you something. The government of Guyana has nothing to do with Linden Tongue Week. They have no hands in it. It is your local leaders at the Mayor and Town Council. The Mayor and Town Council. Those are the ones who sold you out. And the Linden people cannot benefit from it. They don't benefit anything from it. All we get is blockage and deprived of our businesses. They block off the road, they block here, they block there. You can't go wrong to the riverfront. You can't drive on Republic Avenue and all the lawlessness. You understand? That's what happened on Linden Tongue Week. Speaking about that, the people of Spikeland reported to me 2 days ago, and they're asking for it not to happen this time because they're going to protest about it. When they have the Linden Tongue Week, the Edward Benjamin Center in front, they block off that road completely. That's a main road, a main access road going to a community with over 500 people. And you block off that main road because of your event. These are the lawlessness that happen on Linden Tongue Day or Linden Tongue Week. You understand? And again, I'm going back to say, we have churches coming together to bless an event of such. And they have caused a disgrace to the Christian religion or to Christianity. And I can speak about it because it's a religion that I'm a part of or that I've been grown up into. So I want person to understand when you're going to speak about Linden Tongue Week and government, I'm going to make it clear here again. The government of Guyana has nothing, completely nothing to do with Linden Tongue Week. Y'all talk to Sharma Salomon and his cohorts. This we all need to talk to. So moving on, I have another critical issue to address here. Now, as we know, the situation as it relates to teachers and the strike and what has been happening for the past couple of weeks. Y'all tag them teachers, let it come in. The ones will abuse me. Right? The discussions have not gotten anywhere so far because the union wants the government to work a magic. The magic that when their government, the AP and UFC was in office, could not have made happen. You understand? AP and UFC and Coretta McDonald could not have worked that magic from 2015 to 2020. But now they want the PPPC government to make that possible. And they know to themselves that is impossible. The teachers know to themselves from 2017 to 2024, the increase of salaries that they would have gotten is unprecedented. They never see that no time in their life or in their teaching career years. You understand? There's a lot of things need to put into consideration here. And that is why teachers need to be more lenient and understanding and reasonable in this entire situation. Do not be misled by the political vultures who are there to gain cheap political scores for them to look good. You understand? Now, when people like myself speak out on this, some of you get upset. I have to speak based on my experience. I have to speak based on what I've personally, or my family and I, experienced. And I know how important teachers are. We know how important the teachers are. Because of you, our society can be a better place. But how can it be a better place? How can we have a better system when you, apart from us, the parents, cannot set the example? Now, one lady came after me in one of my posts to say it starts from home. I agree. Courtesy begins from home, and we have to start teaching our children at home how to be respectful and how to operate in society and in school. And we does that as parents. We teach our children as well that you are their second parents. We teach them to respect you. We teach them to follow your footsteps. But unfortunately today, some of the footsteps, or the footsteps of some of you out there, we don't want our children to follow. And I'm going to run an example. I'm going to run 3 videos, the example why we don't want our children to follow the footsteps. Now, I want you to listen to this young lady. I guess y'all know her. Those who are on TikTok know her. Some of you might have the opportunity to see short clips of her on Facebook. But listen to the conduct of a teacher who's bashing the government for razor pay. Right? Listen to her.
Shimout Carnival. Lagbag. What's the name? Teach them a lesson. Yes, they can say you're Tara. No, don't bring color. Ah, okay, fine. May nag-say siya black and ugly. Dotty. May kasi siya dotty looking though. Hi, baby. Good night. May come on here for gyaffa tayo. May come on here for talk about them. Y'all know who. Server, she moved like Ron. How rough allowing this? Yeah, I don't get it. They come off? You look gorgeous. Thank you.
The Maggie guy needs people bad name though. Exactly.
On WhatsApp? Need some recording because I don't have them on the live. So if you send me the recording, I'm going to have a lawyer serve her the papers. Tell the same black ugly one.
Who's the black ugly one, mommy?
The one with dirty looking, just like Shimout.
Oh God, why is she gonna talk about me just now?
Tell the same one.
I don't understand this man black on Facebook. Still not be black me on this account.
She calm down when somebody say, stop the laugh can get you. Oh, okay. Can you please send me some recordings? Because I'm going to have my lawyer serve her. She didn't realize that she's in Guyana and she can get served for doing that.
Oh, that black ugly one?
Yeah. She didn't know what she's playing with. The others, they're in Canada. One day in Canada, one day in the US. Don't bring color in this. Curdy.
So we got to get these names sorted out, you. We gotta get these names sorted out.
You see, when I tell you don't flip a camera on me, you're there wrong, and you're coming, can I see it? No, don't you ever.
Because them good things. So you get one phone, a message as Arjun.
So what happened? I don't believe that story on me now.
Yes. Lisa is Arjun. M says Arjun too. Lisa is Arjun. M says Arjun too.
I figure call them you are.
Lisa, I probably get money for buying me ring and so though. M's get plenty money for buy ring and stuff for me. Anyways, coming back to latrine crap, or trench crap, or gutter rat. Let me tell y'all something.
What's her say?
Them say that my coochie is a tough tank. They said that my coochie is a tough tank. Yo, at least if anybody come in this tough tank, them no need life jacket for swim.
Mommy, that roti make her again? That little tiny thing?
Oh my God!
Wait, what's up here?
I didn't think about that. I can't take credit for that. I cannot take.
What is your opinion on that, guys? Now, mind you, that's a teacher. All right? And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying because of her loose and reckless actions, all teachers are the same. I would like to see the teachers coming out and call out on this particular teacher. Call her out for her actions publicly. Let me tell you something. Let me make this very clear here. The other day I saw a post by a teacher. And I saw the explicits that he put out there. Right? And he was talking and cussing up and going on. And I inboxed him. I said, sir, I didn't expect it from you on social media. His question was to me, so what? Teachers don't have a life too? Now listen to that. Teachers don't have a life too. Teachers do have a life. Well, let me tell y'all something. When you are going to join the fire service, the Guyana Police Force, the Guyana's Defense Force, the health system, a doctor, a nurse, medical worker, a teacher, I'm pretty much sure that you had to sign to a code of conduct of how you are expected to operate as a professional in society. When you choose that category, that career, when you choose that, you have pledged to live a life that is expected to be as close as perfect. If you know you want to live a life and go on like that in the public, then the profession of teaching is not for you. And I'm speaking to this particular individual and anybody else who tell themselves that teachers have a life. We know teachers have a life. I agree with that. Nobody say you can't cuss up and go on with this, but you have to do that in your personal capacity. In your own personal and private capacity. But you can be seen in public portraying that level of arrogance and lawlessness, especially on social media, where your students have access to as well. Now you imagine your child or your children are being taught by someone of this caliber, of this mentality. Right? Think about it. And then you're going to tell me what, oh, she could talk or she have a life. She have a life, yes. But you can't be coming on social platforms and being a racist, calling people black, and talking about who have swimming pool and all these things. You know, come on. You're teaching my children, my child, my girl child. And when they see that from you, the people that we as parents taught them that they are your second parents, when they see that, what do you think they're going to say, or what you think is going to happen? They're going to feel it's okay as well, because I saw miss my second mother, or I saw my second father that you tell me is doing this or saying this, so it's okay. We can teach our children to be the best in the home. We can train them. But society has a bad influence on them as well. And first time we could have said, or we could have blamed society out there in the streets. But now society, the schools are included as societies. Because why? We have some of these same professionals, or supposed to be professionals, portraying this level of arrogance. And when we speak out on it, you are upset. Think about that. You're upset when we speak out on it, when I speak out on it. Because I came under numerous attacks by teachers. But all I was doing is speaking the facts and the truth. And just like how you are entitled to freedom of strike and freedom of speech and everything, I am entitled of it as well. You know, Audrey Orclese is saying here, the government gets blamed for everything. Diarrhea, the government. Constipation, the government. That's true, Audrey. So I want to ask my good teacher's friend, is the government responsible for this? I can't even find a name to pronounce her, to address her, who's supposed to be a teacher. Now, if you want to go and sit and negotiate with the government, however you present yourself, that is how you will be treated. So if you go there and present yourself as hooligans, then you will be treated as hooligans. If you go out there and present yourself as respectful professionals, then you have a wider scope of opportunity to negotiate, to sit and talk. Because why? I will now see that I'm not dealing with people with thugs. I'm dealing with people in high caliber who wants to sit and have a positive reasoning so we can negotiate and come to an agreement. You know, people wouldn't like to hear this kind of reasoning again. They will say that you're attacking them. But I'm dealing with the issue. I am addressing the issue. Let me tell you what's going on right now, Lyndon, here. We have people up here, teachers up here now, are calling on teachers to come out back in the streets to strike. And the people said, no, them teachers in there on stupidness. Right? Them teachers in Lyndon here, they got good sense. Because they see and they know that they have been used by Coretta, and they have been used by Mark Light and the others. You understand? So they are now calling on the teachers to come out and strike again. And the teachers end up on the... You understand? The teachers know very well that they have been used. They've seen that they were being used. The government is willing to talk and settle. But you have to be very lenient and you have to be fair. Put a lot of things into consideration. Put into consideration that you were home over a year not teaching, but you were receiving your salary even and straight and your benefits, and also an increase in salary. You got to be fair. Some persons don't like to hear these kind of reasoning, but it's nothing but the facts. It's nothing but the truth. Going back to this individual, I'm hoping that the Minister of Education, the Honorable Priya Manichan, can have access to this video. I know she will see this live and deal with this individual. She must be disciplined. She cannot be allowed. She should not be allowed in the system with that kind of attitude, with that kind of conduct. And like I said, the young man asked me if teachers don't have a life. You have a life. But if you want to live a life and carry on like this in the public, then you need to resign from the teaching profession and go and join some other service. Go and work in the supermarket or something. So when you go there, people can look at you and say, imagine there's a teacher going on. So you understand? That's all people say. When you go on like that, people look at you and say, imagine this is a teacher. Imagine this is a nurse. Imagine this is a doctor. Nobody expects you to be perfect. But like I said, you would have signed to a code of conduct, and there is so much that is expected of you as a professional who are responsible for our children 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. You understand? You are responsible for our children. I have a situation was reported to me. I have plenty of things I could raise. A situation was reported to me today of a child being victimized in a certain school. I don't want to call a school name as yet. I don't want to give details of the story because the parents said to me they're going to try to have this matter being addressed to see what will come out of it. We have a situation at the school where a doormat is taking advantage of people's children and this particular child. The woman went for her child and find her child like half dead. Her child sick in school. And nobody is saying anything. And the child's being victimized because she speak out on a situation in the school. There's another situation that reported, another thing that reported to me. We're a PTA president at a school here in Linden. And I want that school to listen carefully because I will address it. I'm waiting on the right time to address this. A PTA president who was literally stalking a child, a school child, and more so a boy, then got the child's number and start to message the child, trying to indulge him or trying to get him in sexual activities. And I'm talking about a PTA president, a male president, PTA president, trying to manipulate a little boy, a 14-year-old child, to have sex with him. And so far, nothing is being done about it. And when the parent approached the head teacher about it, she said it's not the first time he did something like this, but they don't want to say anything because he has a child in the school. Well, let me tell you something. I personally will be attending that next PTA meeting. None of my children go to that school, but I will be attending that meeting. And I want to see that president of that PTA on any part of the head table. I will upturn that entire meeting. So the school and the head teacher, I know you will get this. And look out for me. I will be there. I'm not calling out the school. I'm giving you a hint. I'm giving you a heads up that I will be there. There is so much that is going on in these schools, and it's been hidden. Because why? The management of these schools want to protect themselves, don't want to look bad and these things. We understand. But when there's issues, you need to have it addressed. I will be coming to that school, Miss Head Teacher of that school in the Amelia's Ward. I will be coming to that school, to that next PTA meeting. So when you see me, you will know I'm giving you a heads up. My fellow brothers and sisters and teachers, I want you to understand my stand. My stand has no point. It's to stand up to say the government are 100% right in everything. The government are simply people, and they might have mistakes, they might have flaws. But in order for them to correct it, you have to meet them halfway as well. Sit and have a peaceful and mature dialogue and negotiate, excluding the politicians, excluding the people who have collected over $100 and something million in your teachers' dues, and so far cannot do anything for you. But more so, it's about themselves. Exclude them. Speak for yourself. Negotiate for yourself. So I think I would have exceeded my time. And there's some other topics I would like to touch on. But in time, I will continue to share with you. I want to ask persons again, whatever is your input, whatever you have to share, and you want to make public, feel free to reach out to me. There is something as well I cannot go without pointing out. I just saw this young man message me. Today, we saw that there was a fire in Karasabay. I think it was today. Not too sure if it's today or yesterday, but I think it's today. On the Karasabay Bridge. For matter of fact, let me show you this video.
It's weekend in it.
All right, the assessment is that we need to cross now. The bridge is on fire, but we can make it across. Let's go. That first person saying no. Yeah, I'm saying our assessment is that we need to cross now. The bridge is on fire, but we can make it across. The old resentment bond. Just set fire.
Game collapsing, so you come out.
Yeah, let's come. Come. Right, I'm going to reach for this.
Don't too much on it.
So that video was sent to me by a resident of the Karasabay village. And it shows where one of the main bridge at the entrance to Karasabay, or entering Karasabay, was caught on fire. And I've seen Mr. Ricky, I know Ricky, what's his name? Ricky Kiantago demanded that he's come on social media and he's talking a set of crap. He's a member of parliament. As a matter of fact, I think he's an AFC. And he was saying, he was literally blaming the government to say the government had operatives in Karasabay village who burned the bridge because APNU AFC would have visited the village. The Constitution gives you the freedom of movement in any part of Guyana, 83,000 square miles. Yes, these villages are governed by an Amerindian village council, that they are being guided by the Amerindian Act. And you need to seek permission before you enter, or a formal invitation must be given by the village council. And 99.9% of the time, the village council will not deprive anybody, whether be it the PPP or the PNC or the APNU or whoever you be. They do not deprive anybody. They allow you to enter once you can justify your purpose of visit. So they are now saying that because they went in to do political work and to highlight issues and to address issues, they're saying that the PPP put people to burn the bridge. What nonsense is that? I can tell you personally, I came out from the Rupununi zone about a week ago, and I have videos and photographs of wildfires all over the Rupununi, the east, west, north, south of the Rupununis. This is in the north Rupununis. Especially in that area there. There's a lot of wildfire from the mountains all over. And that bridge is that's a wildfire. If you look at the video, you can see the fire travel through the bush, through the bushes coming there to that bridge. This is a dry season, very dry. Now, why would people, or why would the government put people to burn bridge? APNU is the only people that's burn bridges. They just burn plenty bridges. A lot of bridges they burn and can't fix back right now. But I saw Mr. Ricky out there spewing the nonsense to say that that is wickedness and who burned bridge. Is their guilt and their conscience got them there. You understand? That when they see things of this happen, some of them don't even realize it's judgment. It's the judgment of the wrong things that they're doing or they would have done. You understand? So I want to make it clear here to persons, because I am in contact with people directly in that village, that I can have immediate information on what transpired. And in any village around this country, every single village I have contacts to. And I can have the details of what transpired in any village. Even to APNU don't even have that kind of connection. When I said connection, I'm not boasting about it, but I mean connection, connected to the people. But they're out there spewing a set of nonsense about PPP, Bourne Bridge. Anyway, guys, this is my time for this afternoon. And I want to say thank you to everyone. And Hill, I see you now tune in. Wazir Sadiq, thank you for tuning in, brother. I see Gloria Manwar. Thank you for tuning in, Gloria. RJ Orcales, Lynette Cornelius, Feroz, Chitra Sukraj. Good night to each and every one of you. Shirley Ramdas as well. Ganesh Loko. Thank you all for tuning in on this segment tonight. And remember, guys, if you have anything that you want to share with me, feel free to share with me. Put it out there. You know, like I said, look, I'm saying to you that I have contacts directly in these villages. Look, I'm just showing you this. As I speak, somebody's looking at the program and they're giving me all the details of what transpired there. Right?
No, what happened since Tuesday? The fire burning since Monday afternoon. And probably making it. It's the revetment burning, not in the bridge itself there. Inside revetments. It's the mark of the bushes was saying.
So let me correct that. That incident took place on Tuesday. All right? I was saying today or yesterday, But the individual is saying here to me that incident took place on Tuesday, and it was the revetment that was burned. Right? So I'm saying to you that any information that I want, I can have the facts. And the people I know will not mislead me. It's the PNC afternoon who like mislead people like what they are doing there now. So thank you guys for this afternoon, your time. My time is out. And remember again, tune in. My program can be 6 in the morning or 6 in the evening, but I will inform you at least an hour before, and so you can be a part of it. So thank you once more for tuning in. I do appreciate your time. And before I go, I would like to personally thank persons for being a part of this program and your continuous support. So bye for now, and see you tomorrow.